How did I lose one? Not again. I didn't lose one again. Found one. G'day and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, I'm Alec. This is Sabina Park Farming and Contracting, and today we are working on the Krone baler. That one. We have to get it ready for pre-season for silage. We have the channel regulars, Sprocket and Lacey. I have my coffee. I have the parts. So let's get into it. So, minor change of plans. We are going to quickly pop into town because yesterday afternoon I dropped off the front cowling of the Deutz bonnet so that the panel beaters could make a start on that. He was actually pretty good about it, said he'll try to fit it in when he can, but he needs the front grille that goes on there so that he can make sure it's all the lines match up close enough and straighten everything that's bent and all that kind of thing. So we're going to shoot into town, drop that off, and we will also get a couple of fittings for that bale handler. If you haven't watched that video, it's down here or here somewhere, and so that we can finish that off. And then also need to get a couple of blanking plugs for the heater, which was in the previous video for the Deutz, so that we can start putting the dash and the interior back together. And that should be about it, I think. So I'll see you when I'm in town. Radio, so we've just come from the hydraulic shop, got those couple of fittings and plugs that we need, and also dropped off the front grill. Apparently the guys actually already had a bit of a go at it this morning and had a spare moment or two, so he's actually started straightening it already, so pretty impressed with that actually. So we'll let you know when we're at home. Just going to fuel up and then we'll be home. Okay, so I have you guys on my head, so hopefully frees up my two hands so that I can carry on. So we need those. I need pin punch, hammer. So hopefully it makes it easier for me to do some work and for you to see what's going on kind of first person, with any luck. I'm going to replace them both just because it's going to be a lot easier if I do them both now than waiting for them to fail. here. I'm not sure how this comes out just yet. Oh, there it is. Huh. And that's exactly why we're replacing them. So you're supposed to wind that all the way out by the looks of things. Wonder if we jack it up, if we can take that off with the spanner. Got a couple of empty drums out of the workshop. Drop that. So what I've also done is put a couple of nuts back to back on here, so hopefully it'll walk this down out through this hole, and then we can knock that little cotter pin out and put the new cog on, wind it back up, and put all the other bits back in. Just like that. Take that, take our hammer, drop that on the ground. Ooh, that's tight. Oh, no, the whole thing has to come out because that little gear drops down all the way through and then onto there. So we'll knock that out, drop that down there. Cool, that looks so much better. Now we just do the reverse of what we did earlier. Except, I might have to take this bar out. Or at least some of the way out. There we go. Oh, I'm trying not to end up on my ollie. Hello? What's going on there? There we go. Ooh, didn't think of that. Wonder if I can knock that bushing down and that'll give me enough clearance or not. Should do. Okay, that bushing won't move. Looks like you have to put it together in situ. Surely not. Surely you can get enough movement out of it. I thought about everything else. Well, that's just bloody stupid. It even looks correct. That one moves. Maybe it's just a bit tight in the ball. Try again. Oh. There it goes. Right, try again. Oh, I'm going to need that. And now I need to clean this up. I think with the next one I'll have to put the cog up and then knock the pin in. Alright, I'm going to put these two nuts back on and hopefully we can wind that bushing back in without too much effort. So what it's actually doing is it's winding the arm up. That copper brass collar isn't coming up, so I should be able to tap it down now. I'm going to knock that out being plastic. I'm going to knock that back up and we'll start again. I don't want to damage this because I had to come out of Melbourne or somewhere. Well, that didn't sound good at all. Nope, there it is. That was lucky. Oh, hello. Okay, back to where we started. So we will put this in from there, and that in from the bottom. Feed that up through there. Well, that hole is nearly lined up too. That's nice. Where did that one? And the hammer. Cool bananas. So, if we take this off this drum, let that drop down, then we should be able to put this other new one on, and we should have a fully functioning lift and lower mechanism. Oh man, it's kind of like my car now. You just put one bit in there and another bit in there, and away we go. Oh, I'm going to knock that back in as well. While we are here, there it goes. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a thicker washer. I think maybe that's why it broke in the first place, because that wasn't pulled all the way up. So we'll grab a thicker washer and be right back. So we've got our box of shims and washers and all the rest. That looks about right. That's better. With a laugh at, yeah, that's right. That's a good one. Alright, now, in my bumping and moving, I've lost one of those roll pins, I believe. So, found it. It was hiding on that magnet. Aha, much better. So now, don't need those anymore. We do need that spring, that and that. And they just go in here, and they act as a lock for that to stop it from moving about all the time. Once you've set your height, that is. Very good, and then we just have to put that one last, this one. which is the wrap tensioner, or wrap holder. And that's it. So now that you've seen me do it on this side, I'll do it on the other side, and it'll go quite a bit quicker because now I know what I'm doing. Now what Krone did that was actually quite clever is the hole that's drilled through here for this pin is on the exact same angle as the hole that's drilled through there for this cog. So long as I get the hole lined up, should just slot in there. There's a little bit of clearance in there, which is what you want. And there you have it. So essentially how this wrapping mechanism works is you set your height at exactly halfway for the height of the bale. So the center of this, which is about here, needs to be center with the size bale you're making. So this can make from a 1 meter up to a 1.5 meter bale. Our first ones haven't been confirmed, but our second ones are 1350 mil, which is 4.5 foot, somewhere there. So that's the size that the customer requested, so that's the size that we'll make. So we have to make it exactly 775 mil from the bottom of that cradle to halfway up the layer of film, which we want. Let's have it here. Yeah. So basically, this film here gets fed through those two rollers, which run up against it, feed around, they're tied onto there, and then these two wrapping arms wrap around and around and put between 4 and 6 layers on, depending on what it is, how heavy it is, that kind of thing. Can do hay with it as well. It's kind of like a cheap version of a shed if you haven't got a shed for hay. Some people do it that way, but it's more designed for silage. So you stretch it at 50%, so it should be 50% of whatever that height is when it's going onto the bale, or 70%, somewhere there. I'll work it out, I'll look at it in the book. So it stretches it some more and it goes around, does 5 or 6 layers depending on how you set it up and what you're looking for, and then this whole table kicks the bale out when the next one is ready to come out onto the table. So it's a pretty good system, works well. It's a little bit slower than the new ones, but I think that partially had to do with the tractor we were running it on last year. We only had the little Kubota running it as opposed to the Deutz, which is about 40 horsepower difference. So with any luck this year it should go better. So I'll work on those two rollers now, and then we'll make a start on the front. It also has a leg that comes out the back that just runs on the ground, and it tips the bale onto its square end as opposed to the roll, and that's normally got double the amount of film layers, or at least half again, as what the actual roll does. so that's better for your stubble protection from piercing through the film, which if you get air in there, it defeats the whole purpose of the object. The thing rots and then it's not palatable, it's not healthy for the cows, it lets mold in, there's a lot of negatives to it. So it flips it on the end, and then you can just pick it up with a bale grab and take it to wherever you're putting it, on the truck or in the paddock or in a shed, whatever. Wow. That's one done. You can see my interim fix just to get through last year. Bit of duct tape. That's two. That was easy. Well, seeing as we have the tractor hooked up, I might as well lift up the bale chamber and carry on working through. So this baler is what's known as a chain and slat. So you have your chain here and your slat obviously running there, or chain and bar some people call it. It doesn't make quite as tight of a bale as say a belt baler, but it'll do, you know, 40 to 80,000 bales without needing the chains redone. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I just noticed that. Should probably order a new one of those, because there's not a lot left of that. That's pushed that seal out, so we'll likely have to get that redone before the season. That's pretty worn out, so I'll have to order one of those. There's a few things here actually. These panels, these wear plates, go in there. So as you can see when I get a bit closer, that's all chewed away there. So I think they were like 40 bucks or something for the new ones. So I got new ones, new nuts and bolts and everything. I will order a couple of bearings for those gears. I believe they're all the same bearing part number. I'll order a couple of those. They sound good for now, but you never know. It's good to just have a couple spare on hand. And then these are those knives that I was showing you before. So they are replaceable. There's 17 knives in it, and you can have either 0, 5, 15 or 17, I believe it is. Something like that. And then your twine, your net comes down through here, which is actually not fed through, which is weird. And it comes down here. You take one last chunk of hay or straw or silage it drags the net in, because it feeds it in with a motor, drags the net in over this roller and then around the bale, which I'll show you when we're actually baling this season. So I'm going to change out these wear plates. That's also causing a problem. This is splayed, so I'm going to have to straighten that. This is actually missing one of these, so I'm going to straighten that one that's bent, and I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. I don't think that's an orderable part from Krone. So not sure what would have done that, if that was me or prior to me purchasing it, but anyway, we'll get into these plates and make a start and go from there. What do I do with that flap? Grab onto what is either. Maybe the little guy will get it. I'm going to run a tack weld just there so that it doesn't spin, because there's no flap left to undo it with. Try that. Aha, aha. That's quite warm. I am reusing the nuts because the nuts had to come out of somewhere stupid like Germany or something. And there's nothing wrong with these ones, so everything else was in Sydney or Melbourne or wherever it needed to come out of. But those washers don't seem right either. I think we'll reuse the old ones. Found it. And we rinse and repeat on the other side. The exact same three on that side won't come loose. looks just as bad. Where's that other one going? So you can see there's actually a bit of net wrap that's got caught in that piece that was folded up. And we were having an issue with one side of it actually tearing a bit of the net wrap off, and I reckon that was what the problem was, which is why I ordered the new ones. You can also see the difference between the old and the new. Hopefully that picks it up. So this whole lip is completely gone on this one, and that was folded over, which was allowing it to catch that net wrap. So it's out with the old and in with the new, and shiny. How did I lose one? Not again. I didn't lose one again. Found one. But what do you reckon my chances are of finding that one washer that dropped? 0 to none, it would appear. Right, one more job ticked off the list. Alrighty, well, it's about 5:30 now, so this video is probably well long enough. I'm going to go inside, or first I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up, then I'll go inside, do a bit of editing, and then you'll hopefully see this video online. So, thanks for watching, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.